take a look at all this stuff. This isn't everything, but this is just a few things that I've picked up the last couple of days. So I wanted to make a video for you guys just to kind of give you an idea of some of the things I've been picking up. I got a estate sale tomorrow, so I wanted to make a video before I started listing anything because I know I'm gonna have more stuff this weekend, and I'll try to make another video showing you the stuff I pick up at that estate. So this is some stuff I picked up at some garage sales and at the antique store. This isn't everything, but I'll show you a few things. Let's start with this. This was at a garage sale that I went to. I went on the last day because, you know, usually they try to give you some better prices. This is a prayer shawl. It was brand new. Got it for maybe $1. So that might be $20, $25. But it's brand new in the package. I've never sold these before, but if it's brand new, then go ahead and pick that up. Also at that sale, this is what I really wanted. The first day, it was listed at $35. This is a flatware set, and I liked it because it has these atomic starbursts on there, and that's a real good looking set. So I wanted that, but I didn't want to spend $35 for it. So I went back on the last day. It was still there. I made an offer, and I was able to pick it up for $20. And what we have here is enough for 8 table settings. So you got 8 of each. You got 8 of the butter knives, 8 of the dinner forks, the salad forks, the tablespoons, the teaspoons, and then there was 2 of these larger serving spoons, and then a couple extra spoons. Those are extras. So what I decided to do, instead of doing an 8-piece table setting, I split it up into 2 4-piece table settings. So this one's already listed. That's why they're in the bag. I wanted to keep them separated because I already had taken photos of those. But so $20, and say we split it into 2, so it's $10 for 4 table settings. And I got these listed at $100 for 1 table set, for the 4 table settings. I don't expect to get 100 necessarily, but that's what I listed them at because I'm the only one that has like that most people are selling them like 1 fork and 1 spoon and 1 knife. And I'm the only one that really has like a full table setting. So I'm going to try to turn $20 into $150, $160, something like that. But I'm glad I got those. Kind of a mid-century modern atomic starburst set in real good condition. And did I pick anything else up at that sale? Yeah. I got this. I picked up a couple recipe books. I already listed those. I just got them because they were, from the 40s, and I thought they were real cool. But I also picked this up. This is a book called Voices from Beyond the Veil. Now, it's got some damage here, as you can see. But the reason I picked it up, where is it at? Copyrighted 1928. So I wanted it because it was real old. And also because supposedly these are people that have talked to the afterlife. So you got like famous people here. Martha Washington. Let's see if I can see some of these people here. Theodore Roosevelt. They got pictures of spirits in there. Look, this one says message from Abraham Lincoln. Abraham, that's probably supposed to be Abraham Lincoln. Who else did they have? I told you Martha Washington, Theodore Roosevelt. This is Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie. So, I put that in there. I already listed this. And you put keywords in there like spiritualist, afterlife, stuff like that. And I didn't see any of these anywhere. So it's kind of a low print run. So I listed that $200. Now, I don't expect to get $200, but you gotta shoot for the moon and then start getting some eyes on it and start taking some best offers. But it's the only one that had that from 1928, and it's kind of an interesting subject matter. So Went ahead and decided to list that thing, $200, let some people look at it. And then I saw these Crown Royal bags, and she said, oh, you can just have those. So I said, okay, so I got 14, there's a whole bunch of them in here. So I got 14 of these large ones, 3 of the smaller ones, and then like 2 special edition ones. So I just made a lot of those. But people buy those. If you can get a whole bunch of them for cheap, like these for free, then, you know, pick these up, because people like to make blankets and all kinds of crafts out of them. So don't be afraid to pick that up. And they sell cheap. You throw them in a padded mailer and you're good to go. Let's see what else we got here. So the antique store. So a couple items I got at the antique store. Now, I never got these before. These are, look, I'm holding this up to the light. These are glass negatives. So apparently the negatives used to be on glass in, there's a 1901. So this thing is old, man. And look how cool that guy looks. So this was sold in a little 2-piece. How much did I spend on this? Maybe like $5, give or take. Look at this beautiful woman. But these are like from the early 1900s. I don't know anything about them, so I'm kind of making this video. If you know anything about glass negatives and best way to sell them, or even, I don't even know how to, you know, take pictures of them or list them. But I grabbed those 2. And then I found these. This is more glass negatives. The reason I got these, I paid up on these. How much did I pay for these? Not too much. Maybe, I don't even remember, $12, $13. But you got about, I'd say 10 to 12. But the reason I got it is because it comes with the box. And it has these papers in there. They're kind of tore up, but it's cool that it has that, you know, this stuff is from the, you know, the early 1900s. So you got some of this advertising stuff. I thought it was real cool. Let's take a look at the box again. Let's take a look at that. Fenwick Paper Co. But yeah, it had the box and had a little bit of advertisement in there. And it's got, like, they got 10 or 12 of them. They got like houses and buildings and stuff like that. But this one, look at this. This says 1896. So I figured I could, you know, take a chance on that. I got to be able to make some money on this. You got a whole bunch of them with the box. So that's the reason I picked it up, just because it was in the box and had a little bit of extra paperwork in there. So we got those glass negatives. Let me know in the comments if you know anything about glass negatives. And then I got this today at the same antique store. Look at this thing. It's heavier than you think, too. When I picked it up, I was like, that thing's solid. It looks real good on camera. But this is all engraved. Like if you run your finger over there, you can feel all this texture in there. It's all been hand engraved, signed A. Dunlavy. And then I looked at this real close. You tell me what that says. I'm pretty sure it says 1901. But I could be wrong. You know, but it looks to me like 1901. So it's like, for this thing to be that old and to be in this good a shape. But look at the detail and painting on this. So this thing I paid, no, $4. $4 for this thing. Look at the bottom. What does that say? Do not want to break this thing. It says Dickens, Ware, and Weller. I haven't done any research on there. But if you know anything about it, let me know. But this is, I just think, I mean, perfect, beautiful piece. And if it's from 1901, hand carved and hand painted and signed, I mean, come on, $4. I don't even know. I'm probably gonna list that real high and just, you know, take offers on it, let people look at it. But I wanted you to be able to see that thing first, because that thing is just gorgeous. This is the last thing I picked up today at the antique store. Look at this. This is a little fuses. And here's the fuse boxes in here. There's not a lot of these. I did comps before I picked it up. The last one sold for about $75. How much did I pay for this? I don't know, $3? I want to say around $3. Real good shape, beautiful green color in there. And it comes with the fuses. The one that sold for $75 had 4 fuses in there. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, we got 8 of them. There was only like 4 other listings. The other 3 listings were $75, and there was one that didn't have any fuses on there. And it said plastic. This one's metal. So I don't know. That's probably, I'll probably list it for, $60 and take an offer for 50 or something. So $3, $4 into 50. That's not too bad. So that was a nice little pickup. I'm real happy with that. Real lightweight, easy to ship. And then also, while I was there, I don't know anything about these, but I picked this up. It was a 3-piece set. So all 3 of these pieces, $17.50. And what this is this is a tensioner or a binder. You put like a strap in here if you're trying to like wrap up, say like boxes or something on a pallet, and you crank this thing and it tightens that binding in there. So that's like a little binder. And then you use these things. There's 2 different sizes, 1/2 inch and like 3/4 inch. And this will clamp like a little piece of metal, crimp a piece of metal on there that'll hold the 2 straps together that hold it together. So it all came as one piece, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell these separately. So I looked these up. These are anywhere from $40 to $60. And these are, it's hard. These are all over the place. So these are anywhere from 20 to 50. So I don't know, $17.50 into at least $100, maybe more for those. Because this, nothing wrong with it. They're in real good shape. But I think I'm just going to sell them separately, although some people will sell the tensioner with the crimper. But I'm just going to, because I don't know, I'm just going to sell them all separately. And if people want to buy it all together, I'll give them combined shipping. I also picked these up. These are just some wheels for your scooter. I think these were like $1.75. Got 3 of them. They don't sell for much. They go for like maybe $12, $15, but that's easy sell. The brand new old stock. The package is kind of tore up. I'll try to wipe them down, but $2 into 12. That's a guaranteed sale. And again, you put this in a padded envelope. I love that. Real easy to ship, so I'm not worried about that at all. And then look at this. This is what I wanted to tell you guys about. Let's get under some light over here. This was in a box of miscellaneous tools, and I think it was either 75 cents or $1.75 is what it said for the miscellaneous tools. So I didn't comp this. I just picked it up because it said Snap-on on it. And then when I got home, did some research. This is a Snap-on Ergo Palm, and it's a ratchet. You put your sockets on there, and you can either do righty-tighty or flip the switch and do lefty-loosey. Works real well. But anyways, these things, in this condition, $40. Brand new in the box, $100. And I got it for, at the most, $1.75. It might have been 75 cents. But there's your bolo, guys. You see anything with Snap-on, I pick it up. If it's a baseball cap, or if it's a clock, or anything with Snap-on, just pick it up because that stuff sells. Now, that really shocked me. 75 cents into at least 40. So be on the lookout for that. Real cool. Ergo Palm is what that's called. And then I got this. You're not going to believe how much I paid for this. But this is, what is it? 4 Seasons of Yellowstone on DVD. I'll open them up. They're all in there. I don't know how much this sells for. But I will tell you, I paid 25 cents for this. I ain't even lying. 25 cents. Got 4 Seasons of Yellowstone. So I can't wait to see what the comp is. What, $40? $30 at the least. So I got Yellowstone on DVD for $1/4 into 40. That's what you want to do. I also picked this up today. There was a whole bunch of these toothpick holders. I only got one. I got the best one. I got this because I didn't know what it was made out of. I thought, I was like, is that like Bakelite or what? Because I never seen anything like that. You can look in here. It's got like some different kind of colorations, almost like marble only. Well, there was another young lady in there, and we were talking about, she had bought some more of these toothpick holders, and I was asking her, so yeah, I got this one. And I was asking about it, and she said, oh, that's slag glass. So I've heard of slag glass. I'm not really familiar with it, but I've heard it, on my YouTube videos that I watch. And she said, yeah, you put a black light to that, and it might glow. So look at this. A couple days ago, I got me a black light. Now, I haven't tested this yet. I wanted to do it here live. Let me turn this light off. So let me see if this thing's going to glow. Because he said sometimes the slag glass might glow. Let's see. I don't know if it's glowing. It looks purple. That's interesting. I'll have to do this one a little bit darker. But this slag glass, how much I pay for that? $1? Let me see. No, it's more than that. $2.75, I think. So I think these sell for like there's some comps on $25. You know, if you want to wait, or you can do like, you could take an offer for $20, $22. But that's not bad. This is kind of stuff I like to have in my store. You know, it's my first piece of slag glass. It's not really glowing, but it is. I'll have to take a closer look. It is turning purple. Let's see if anything else glows. Oh my goodness. I'm just kidding. So yeah, so that's a little slag glass. Not bad. Again, real easy. Put that in a little eBay box and ship it out. It'll be like 4 ounces or something. And then there was another store I went to this morning because I said they're having a going out of business / garage sale, and they said they have a whole bunch of like cowboy boots and jeans and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm gonna step in there because it's close to the antique store. So I went in there first, and I was looking at the boots, and I saw these shoes in here. And I don't normally buy shoes unless they're like brand new. And I saw these and they had, what did they have the price on? See the price is still on here? There it is. So they had $50 on this. I'm not spending $50 on a pair of shoes. But I went ahead and, since I had time, I comped them real quick. Look at the condition of these things. Oh my goodness. I mean, these look like they've never been worn. I'm trying to see if there's any evidence of being. They might have been worn once because they're tied. Anyways, guys, whatever these are like Air Jordan something Zions, and I thought they looked real cool because it's got, look at this, got a little skull with the little button eye, and it said Air Jordan on the back, and it's got this cool stitching. I was like, those are cool shoes, like a little suede action. Anyways, these things in this condition are selling for like $300 to $400. $400, I think, brand new. And these are like, oh man, what's that saying there? What's the Adidas in there? These are Nikes. Oh my goodness, did I get ripped off? It's Adidas in there. Are these fakes, guys? This says Nike, but it says Adidas in there. And this feels like it's glued in there. I'm getting scammed live on YouTube. I had to do some research on this. How's this going to have Adidas insoles on a Nike shoe? And they feel like they're glued in there. Oh my goodness. What kind of video is this going to be? How am I going to sell a Nike shoe with an Adidas insert? I mean, worst case scenario, these are my size, I'll just keep them. But I'm a little disappointed now because now I'm worried I'm not going to get $300 out of these bad boys. Adidas? Oh man, they look like they're, I mean, they don't look like they fakes. Did someone glue some Adidas insoles in there? Let's look in here. Help me out. DZ7292/200. You let me know. Why do they have Adidas insoles in there? I'm going to do some research. That does not seem right to me for some reason. But anyway, good looking shoes. Look, worst case scenario, I got me some nice shoes for $40. I forgot to tell you that I asked them how much they wanted for them. They said, is there any wiggle room? And they said 40. And I was like, I'll take them.